So I am out today. I'm doing a little filming differently. I'm out and about today doing my 20-minute walks with my dog. And didn't want to be in the house. Something that I heard about in social media or in the society is the recent death of Kim Porter. So I don't follow and talk about the main events as far as societal things are concerned. Most of my concern is with health topics. And this, ironically, does touch on some health type things. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Stay tuned. So I want this to be an insightful talk, and I'm going to try to make it shorter, not too long. So what I want to talk about is Kim Porter. I don't follow her. I don't have Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. But in my past, I've definitely seen her in the limelight next to her ex-boyfriend and father of her children. And I have always noted that she is a very outwardly, visually beautiful person. And so her sudden death, although I haven't heard anything from her from quite some time, but her death still seems sudden because normally with a celebrity type, even with celebrities, or especially with celebrities, if something is going on with them, you will hear about it. You'll get a soundbite or something. So it just seemed like her death was sudden. I mean, I need some water, by the way. I've just done a 20-minute walk, and I've only had half of my requirement of water today. But anyway, it just seemed very sudden and very random. So I looked at the footage from yesterday, and I really don't think I made my point clear. And so I wanted to reshoot and put my thoughts in order. And I want to talk about three major things or three basic things, as well as talk about something that stood out to me. And when things stand out to me, I think that they're relevant and they're important to note. So I want to talk about the death of Kim Porter. It was unsuspected. She is 46 years old. She was a celebrity type. She was suffering from pneumonia and succumbed to a cardiac arrest and basically died prematurely. Per the news media, she had been filmed 16 days prior with her children and her child's father. And I saw the pictures, and you could not see that she was even struggling with pneumonia, nor would you suspect that she would die just 16 days later. Per the news media, she had posted something on her Facebook the day before she died, or a few days before she died, talking about overcoming. And I'm thinking she was talking about the pneumonia. Also, another socialite type mentioned that they had spoke with her the Monday before she died and just could not believe that she died so soon. So that's what I want to talk about. Some of the social media on YouTube, and just some of the people outraged, kind of sort of saying that which is the first thing that I want to talk about. She should have been in the hospital, kind of the feeling of negligence, and what is that, vitamins and minerals and saline solution, like they didn't do the best for her. And I blame it on the medical world, the medical practices, the feeling of the feelings that people are having right now, because honestly, if you look at any of the protocols that help people heal from very serious diseases, vitamins and minerals and water are what those protocols call for. Now, I'm sure they probably gave her some type of artificial form of vitamins and minerals, but the vitamins and minerals are the fruits and vegetables. That's how you get vitamins and minerals. That's the major way you get vitamins and minerals. And there's some in meat and things like that, but and water. Water is what the first level of defense, the first level of purification, the first level of life, the first level of oxygen for the body. So they did her right. They actually did me wrong and sent me home with some probiotics, which caused, a whole bunch of other problems. But that I want to talk about that, how if you notice when you're admitted into the hospital, at least for me, I've been admitted in the past several times, and they always give you an IV. they always give you an IV, and what's in the IV? It's saline solution. And I've been in the hospital not for life-threatening something, but just for observation or just for a test or something like that. And then they'll give me an IV the whole time I'm there. And all the IV is, which is the saline solution, is they're just giving me water the whole time I'm at the hospital. And once I'm discharged, they send me on my way, go live life, but they never say, hey, you might want to continue with this water. You might want to drink a gallon of water a day, or half your body weight in ounces of water up to a gallon. Never any of that conversation. They keep that very valuable piece of information hidden. You have to start, like, I had to pay attention. So, also, with pneumonia, I've had pneumonia before in the past. I had it when I was in my 20s, and I was terrified because I know that people die of pneumonia. And so when I went to the hospital, and at first I didn't know what it was, and I was able to function, and I had gone to work, and the symptoms had just gotten too bad to where I felt like I needed to find out what was going on. And so I went, and after they found what it was, they sent me home. They didn't keep me there. There was nothing else for them to do. They gave me antibiotics, and the whole attitude is that young people don't succumb to pneumonia. And medical doctors follow their documentation. They follow their protocol, their medical protocols and things like that. And the ideal is that a young person will their immune system will fight off the pneumonia. And pneumonia is just when the lungs are filled with mucus or fluid. And what that does is it eliminates or lessens the amount of air. And air is oxygen to the body, and the body needs oxygen in the blood, the brain, and everywhere else. So once they found out what was wrong with me, they sent me home as well. They just didn't even give me the water and the fruits or the water and the vitamins and minerals. So that was actually right on point. It's the older people that they say succumb to pneumonia because they're older, their bodies are worn, and they have weaker immune systems. So I wanted to talk about that. I also wanted to talk about the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that they sent her home with. And I've just been saying it, and it's not even my idea. Like, I haven't gone to school. I haven't spent my life studying this. This is like literally strategy for me to heal. But every protocol, every naturopath, every holistic medicine doctor have the same speech, the same spiel. Now, they may have different parts of it where they'll say focus on these fruits and vegetables, but they still say the body needs to heal, to survive, to live, fruits and vegetables. So it just goes along with my 7 cups of fruits and vegetable video, which I will link in the description box. As being it, that's the key. Outside of everything else I've tried, the coffee enemas, the saunas, and all this extra stuff that I'm doing is not essential. The essential is getting my water, fruits, and vegetables. I wanted to say that, which brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about, which is the exercise video that I did, and I will link that in the description box. It hasn't got that many views, but I'm sure in the future, or I've got people that roll their eyes like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But this is a prime example. It's basically what I'm saying. My whole message is you can't get away from eating fruits and vegetables and drinking your water. There is no shortcut. You can definitely mask it with exercise, and you can mask it with beauty products and things like that. But it's masking your real focus on truly being healthy, and the masking doesn't save a life. The masking will have people shocked and stunned when all of a sudden you prematurely die. So I did the video, and I the 16 day prior to pictures that I saw of her, you cannot tell that she was even dealing with anything. And I just wonder, what type of beauty regimen did she have? You know, did she have bags under her eyes, which I have bags, and I'm at a point to where I don't feel the need to hide my bags. These are my body's way. Excuse me. These are my body's way of telling me I have work to do. You know, and I'm not talking about if you don't get sleep the night before and you have bags. You have this moment of stress and you have bags. These bags are chronic. If I'm doing well, I have bags. Now they decrease a little bit. You can tell by my bags how well I'm doing, actually, even though I can prop myself up. But at one point I wanted to get surgery, but I realized that per the research, bags are indication of a problem with your kidneys or your liver, which are two major organs in your body. And I can tell by the way that these fluctuate that when I get it right and when I'm fully recovered, I won't have to deal with bags. So I'm just like wondering, did she have brittle nails? I did a nail video, which I will link in the description box as well. And I just think about how far I've come, like where these nails they're boring, you know. I would have wanted the shine and the glitter on them. And now I realize that these nails are not a beauty thing. They are to tell me about things that are going wrong in my body, about the welfare of my body. So ironically, I have this cut that just formed on my nails, whether it's broken. You know, I want to know if I have splashes on my nails. You know, I need to know if my nails are brittle, and I wonder what other symptoms were there that no one knew to pay attention to. As well as I'm sure she probably had some type of exercise regimen. And it just it confirms and makes me think that, it just reminds me that you have to do all of the work. Exercise is not a walk in the park, and it does take discipline, but it's just to know what really is the main focus and what really is the lifesaver. So I wanted to talk about that as well, and let me just say, the way that someone naturally looks may or may not be an indicator. You know, some people's DNA is set up to conceal their true health, you know, but there will be other signs that there's issue going on in their body. But extremes, like if your hair is falling out or your hair is jagged and thin and see-through, that's a major indication that something is going on in your body. Or if you have real bad acne that is like pepperonis on your face, or bumps on your body, those are signs, and they matter, that something is going on in your health. So I want to talk about that. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I did not know what a cardiac arrest was. So it's not like a heart attack where your heart is still pumping. It's just there's a clogged valve, and the blood can't flow through to pump through your heart. So when the blood can't flow through in a heart attack, that tissue dies, and your brain, your lungs, and your heart doesn't receive the oxygen, the blood that it needs. And oxygen is blood. Blood is oxygen. So it doesn't get that, and it causes death. In her situation, the heart is pulsing, and with cardiac arrest, the heart stops pulsing. Or the heart will start pulsing really crazy and cause a heart attack. So the blood stops flowing. There's no clogged arteries. It's just the heart is not pumping for the blood to flow through. And the way to treat that is with a defibrillator. And so I wanted to understand how she had pneumonia and how did that lead to cardiac arrest. I have a video in the description box where a lady had a similar incident where she was suffering from cold-like symptoms for a week, but it wasn't enough to have her in the bed, but enough to cause her discomfort. And she went out and ran her marathons like she normally does and wound up going into cardiac arrest. And I'll have that story in the description box. And that was really the only link that I could find between the two. But without finding it, it just goes to prove, and it disputes what the medical doctors do when they, like for me, with cancer, I've had a couple interventions with tumors, and like when I went to a surgeon, he wanted to cut it out, and he just wanted to deal with the ugly, the cancer, the tumor, but no one tried to figure out what was going on in the background, so it came back. So the whole idea of when it's only one area of your body or one thing that's going wrong. She had something going on in her lungs, and it affected something in her heart. The body is one unit. It's on one accord. It works together. Everything affects everything. And this incident goes to show there is a lot of connection between the heart and the lungs, and it's to do with the oxygen that either of them needs to function. So I wanted to talk about that as well. And then I just wanted to say, I can't even imagine how suddenly she died. She has 11-year-olds, and my heart goes out to her babies. And I'm sure that there will be more information as the days progress and whatever they're willing to release about her death. But it was definitely something that I'm careful not to compare myself to anyone, because that's Bible, but you also don't know everything that went on in the background. So not to be worried, but to learn from someone else's experiences, so that I don't personally have to go through a breakdown of my own. I believe that's all that I wanted to say. Until next time, thanks for watching. So something a little extra, why Miss Porter's story hit me kind of hard. It kind of took me back to 2012, D-Day, ground zero for me. I had been suffering from flu-like symptoms, or not flu-like symptoms, but pneumonia-like symptoms for several weeks. And I was treating them with vitamin C boost and mentholatum. And on the day that it occurred, it seemed like the symptoms, I had overcome it, and I was able to go to work. I was able to sleep the night through, and the symptoms would hit me very hard at night. And so that night prior, I didn't have all the chest congestion and the coughing and the gurgling in my lungs and things like that. So I thought it was past. I went to work. I was finishing up my degree, and I met with the group partners to finish a class project, and that's when the coughing started. And it became a very escalated, violent cough, and it was like an asthmatic cough, like and it just kept doing that where I could not catch my breath. One thing led to another. I was admitted to the hospital and found out that I had stage 4 lung cancer. So, yeah.